Damn, y'all feel that?
Yeah, yeah, uh, yeah. A message to all you pseudo spitters. The sound is cool, but the trend I see is the truth is missing. I feel the flow is stupid. You claim that the music's different. I guess it's all opinion, depending on who was listening.
What's the word, y'all? It's KTR podcast, hashtag KTR. We are back and we are in the building for episode 63 of Know the Roast Podcast. Yes, that's right. Know the Roast Podcast. Hashtag KTR. We are KTR. We are back. And my brothers, it is the holiday season. Hey, we're going to get right into this episode. We're going to do all these holidays. We got Christmas coming up. We got Hanukkah going down right now. We got Kwanzaa on the way. And we got the New Year coming up. And New Year means new things are in the making, which means since the year is almost over, we got to do a year review episode. Before we dive into this episode, I'm even with my brothers, Big Harv and J-Bo himself. And I got to ask, how are y'all doing today?
I'm cold as hell, but I'm doing good, though. What about you all?
I mean, I'm feeling festive, man. Yeah, holidays, you know.
Yeah, that is right.
Jingle bells, jingle bells.
I hear you, Santa, but before we get into the festivities real quick, we got to ask the wrestling community just one simple favor for us, and that is to follow us on all social media platforms, KTR_podcast, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, Know the Roast Podcast, Facebook, YouTube, Know the Roast Podcast, all podcast platforms, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, everything. And don't forget to get your merch at prowrestlingtees.com/KTR Podcast. Let's get in, let's go, and let's get into the show because y'all know what time it is. It's time to do some reviews. The end of the year episode, and usually for the last episode of the year, we are usually like in a cozy studio, doing presentations to y'all. No, just a bonding moment because that's really the time we get together. But I ain't gonna lie, it's cold outside. And I just came back in town to visit, and like this, I ain't stepping outside the building, so I apologize for you. But we're gonna get together sooner than later. But until then, we gotta talk about the stuff that happened over the year. There's a lot of great things happened this past year. This year was very eventful from the wrestling aspect, from the entertainment aspect to the roster that's been going on for all these different promotions. There's a lot going on in the year of 2022. But let's dive into an obvious topic real quick. Like we're just gonna go down to get this out the way because I feel like everybody's answer is gonna be the same with this one. But for this question, number one, who was the best male wrestler of the year?
Big Harv, you go first.
I feel like we should do it differently. Like we should just everybody just say the name just at one time. Then we just go off of that way. I feel like it'll make it quicker with the debate because it's probably gonna be like a number of topics like back to back to back for this.
Best wrestler.
Are we talking best male wrestler? Okay. It doesn't have to be a specific promotion. It can be any promotion. Doesn't matter. Best male wrestler of the year.
In ring, promo, or all around?
All around, the whole nine, which means the best male wrestler of the year.
Of the year.
Yes. Do you have your idea
yet? You know what? Yes, I do, and I'm pretty sure I was going to disagree, but I don't care.
This should not be this hard. It's kind of yeah.
There's a lot of factors that play a role.
Harv, you have yours.
I'm with you, man. I'm there.
All right, cool. All right, after my count, we're gonna say it. All right, y'all ready? You ready? All right, cool. 3, 2, 1. Roman Reigns.
Moxley.
Wait, what?
Moxley. Yeah, I'm gonna give it.
That's not a bad one. I can see that. Yeah. J-Bo.
I actually said Sami Zayn personally.
You know what? I did see this thing about. I did a show with the Midwest Male in the Mafia with our family over there. We love wrestling, Down for the Count, and Culture Cast and everything. And they asked the same question: who's a male wrestler? And I did. I said Sami Zayn. I did say Sami Zayn. So I'm not going to disagree with you on that one because that's a long shot, but that is a valid point. I can definitely see it.
And you mentioned all around, and I still have to give it to Sammy because we all know, like, when Sammy can go, he can go. But what's helped him this year is he always take his characters and his gimmicks and shoot them towards the sky. And this year, even in his matches, if he's playing, like the slide character, trying to use the bloodline to win, it doesn't matter. We're interested. We're interested in the match from start to finish, no matter if it's gimmicky or if he's actually put on a good wrestling match. So that's why I had to give it to him this year.
That's good. That's not bad. I agree. I agree 100%. That's not a bad statement. So, Harv, why do you say Jon Moxley?
I feel like he carried AEW through a very rough period, and they're still a very young company. And he put on a larger variety of matches than a lot of other top contenders for a spot like this. And that all of his matches really hit. Even the ones that were shorter or that were more by the numbers, just a little, basic or whatever. They were always entertaining. He knew how to put on a good match, no matter who he was up against or whatever the situation was.
Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, I agree with that too. That was a good statement right there. And I say Roman Reigns for obvious reasons. He put the company on his back with all the main event matches. Everybody wanted to come see him whenever he made an appearance, either with a televised show or especially with a pay-per-view. Every time he showed his face, always did numbers. Anytime he did promo, always did numbers. It's just that it factor. And he put on good events, whether it was against, lack of, competition and also with the part-time competition. Like, he made those matches matter, and he's actually involved with probably one of my favorite matches of the year. And we're going to get into that topic a little bit later. We're going to say that for another time. But yes, all three good choices: Roman Reigns, Jon Moxley, and Sami Zayn. Good 3 picks. None are up for debate or up for question because I don't see nothing wrong with them. So now we're gonna dive into the women with the ladies and see who was the best women's wrestler of the year. Do y'all have y'all's ideas in your head?
Yeah.
All right, cool. We're gonna get this thing cracking in 3, 2, 1.
Bianca
Belair. Yeah.
I said this last year.
Hey, she on the road, man. She on the road.
Y'all said this last year.
Week, man.
She ain't slowed up.
Right.
But I do have to give an honorable mention to Jamie Hayter. She surprised the hell out of me this year. I was never really a Jamie Hayter fan. She just seemed like another, women wrestler on the roster. But this year, she really showed herself not only as like a legitimate athlete, but like a championship contender. And what she wanted and how she has been carrying herself as a champion, it's all coming together for who she is as an in-ring performer. So I had to give an honorable mention to Jamie Hayter, though.
Good. See, in my right mind, I do give it to Bianca Belair. But in my heart, I'm talking about my fucking heart right now. I'm giving the Rhea Ripley.
Of course.
That woman had me in the chokehold for all year.
MGK ain't did shit this year.
Don't care what you say.
Ain't did a damn thing.
She done a lot for me.
Don't worry.
She's done a lot for me.
I'm looking for a Fold Me Mommy shirt for Cinko.
If she please make a Fold Me Mommy shirt with her pinning the person in that position, I will buy it and I'm gonna wear it. And next time the show comes to Vegas, St. Louis, wherever I feel like going, I'm sitting front row with that t-shirt with a sign that says, the arrow pointing down, me. Pick me. I want to be a pick me for this pen. I don't care what y'all say. I thought about it. I'm like, no. Then like, wait a minute. You know what? I'll put my pride to the side and let it happen.
Oh my God. This is already a wild episode.
I love Rhea Ripley. I'm not gonna lie and not say I don't. I do. She is one of a kind. She is one of one. I want her to be my one. Yeah, so that's another story. That's what we're gonna do for another day. But there, great pick, everybody. Bianca Belair. Makes the most sense in the world. She's been grinding, doing numbers, representing the women's division heavily in the best way, shape possible. Beautiful woman on top of that. And all the accolades she's been doing on the side from it. She won an ESPY though, too, right?
So with Sasha.
Yeah. She won an ESPY. She won an ESPY, and like I said, she did that competition on the side too, while still doing main event work with her belt and be on the pay-per-view. Said that was good numbers. And she got the C4 sponsorship. I can't forget about that yet. But yeah, Bianca Belair, top tier right there. All right, we're gonna mix a little with a little tag team action real quick. Best tag team of the year. It's kind of difficult. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's kind of difficult. Difficult. I got two in my head right now.
I got one because I don't want to go mainstream. I want to go to one that I've been interested in like throughout this year. So yeah.
Harv, you got yours?
Yeah, man.
All right, cool. All right, let's get it down. 3, 2, 1. What y'all say?
FTR.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. That's not up for debate. I'll give you that one.
Yep.
FTR.
Mine
Harwood is really a contender for one of the best wrestlers of the year, in my opinion.
Oh, easy. But mine would have to be the Acclaimed. 2022, the Acclaimed. Yeah, definitely.
And that's the one. That was one of my two right there. It was either that or the Usos.
Yeah, and the Usos, it was sort of like an obvious one. It just I felt with the work that the Acclaimed has done, pretty much going from like a gimmicky tag team to like gimmicky, but can also go on the ring type tag team. I had to give this year.
Of course,
I'm honestly not a fan of the Acclaimed. I'm not.
Here comes the fun sucker.
It's cool. I mean, I'm not arguing your choice. That's your choice. I'm not gonna argue your choice.
We know.
Me personally, I don't get it. It's not one of those that's for me, and that's fine.
I understand. No, it happens. It's all right. We still love you hard, but yeah. That's why that finger wrapped up just for that reason.
I throw it up too often. That's why. Yeah.
Ooh, FTR, the Acclaimed 2 times, and Usos for honorable mention. So that's a good choice right there. Good choice. Now let's dive into the next topic. Right, we got on set for y'all. The wrestling moment of the year.
The wrestling moment.
Now, there's been a lot of moments that happened this year. We had a bunch of WrestleMania moments, but had a bunch of in-ring moments. We had a lot of off-camera moments. So it's a lot of moments that didn't happen. But to y'all, what has been the moment of the year? I got mine.
I got mine too.
Oh, you got yours? All right, cool. We got to do one by one because you can't say the same thing at the same time. One since I'll go first, knock it out real quick. Bam. Vince McMahon retiring.
Yeah.
That's my moment of the year right there. Like that's something like, okay, it was going to happen eventually. We know it was going to happen. We didn't know when it would happen, but when you actually saw it happen, boy, the world paused for a second.
It did.
Like, we're going to stop. The world stopped for a secon. People skipped the heartbeat and everything. Like, wow, this actually happened. The day has finally come that Vince McMahon said that he retired. Threw it out on Twitter. I mean, I was scrolling one day and I saw, like you said, a minute later, I'm like, whoa. I thought it was like a burner account or something like that. He really said that he retired. It caught me off guard. I'm like, wow, this is real. So yeah, that was my moment of the year.
That's a good one. Yeah.
That's a good one.
What you got?
I think my moment of the year was on the same topic of Vince McMahon. Vince botching probably the last Stone Cold Stunner we will probably see from Steve Austin himself. And probably one of the most glorious botches of a stunner I have ever seen.
That man is 70 plus years old. Of course, he wasn't going to give a clean stunner.
I mean,
and the thing about it, Stone Cold tried to do it as gentle as possible.
Yeah, no.
He didn't have no grip. He just like, come on, like just fall. And like, he just like, oh.
Dude, the gut kick by itself took him out. The rest was just collateral damage.
Terrible.
Absolutely
horrible. Yeah. I mean, I was going to say the fact that Austin actually wrestled a viable and entertaining match at WrestleMania. That was a really big moment this year. But since you just mentioned Austin, I'm going to go with my other moment, which was the return of our father.
Your father. Our father? Your father?
Ours, my brothers. Ours. He has returned to us.
I'm assuming you're talking about Bray Wyatt, right? Not Cody Rhodes.
That's right. No, not Cody Rhodes. Come on.
I mean, he did
Come on.
return, so that was a
Traitor.
big moment.
The traitor.
The trade.
You kidding me? Traitor. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. He betrayed his
He's
own
a trade because he decided to go back
bent
home.
the knee. That's right. He bent the knee. That's what happened.
I mean, everybody bent the knee when they walk.
I dare you.
So Bray Wyatt returning.
Yeah, that'll be my move.
Okay, we'll give you that one, Harv. Your father. All right, cool.
Our father, my brothers.
Oh my god. Anyway, like I said, we got the male wrestler of the year, we got the women's wrestler of the year, tag team of the year, moment of the year. Let's get rookie of the year.
Rookie of the year.
Yeah.
Oh, I know who I'm giving it to. Yeah, no question.
You said what?
I know who I'm giving it to.
I got mine. You got yours, Harv?
No, I'm gonna hear y'all's first.
Okay, J-Bo, go ahead.
Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah.
22 was his year. I mean, lately he hasn't really been doing too much, but I mean, from
does he need to though?
Say what?
Does he need to?
Yeah.
Does he really need to do like much right now? That's the thing about it.
He's been doing a lot in NXT, but remember, NXT, no matter how we look at it, it's still going to be the developmental system for WWE. So the second you stop doing things, you can start becoming forgettable. And I don't want that for him. And so he's been doing terrific this year. So I'm hoping to either see something from him soon or for him to go ahead, go to the main roster and, continue his dominance.
And with that, I think that's what's happening right now is this transition over to the main roster because there's really nothing much for him to do on NXT besides becoming the NXT champion. It doesn't need it. He really doesn't need it. Like that could be, I see like his last go home match against Braun Breaker for going to the main roster, but I don't see it because it's not needed. This man dominated from January to now. Every time he was on the show, he stole the show, whether it was a match or a promo. Like everybody, I feel like would tune in for Carmelo Hayes. He really carried the brand this year
for a good amount of time.
For a good amount of time. If he was the North American champion, even when he wasn't the North American champion for that short period of time, he still held it down. And it looks like he's going to this final storyline with Apollo Cruz. What his last name is? Yeah, I don't know why I forgot. Yeah. Cruz, yeah, I'm thinking about the movie. Yeah, Apollo Cruz, and I feel like this is gonna be his final thing before he goes to the main roster because I really don't feel like there's nothing more for him to do. Only reason I see they would keep him is because they need some talent to hold up his brand for a good minute because he is really the hottest thing on that roster right now, especially since Mandy Rose left.
2 different minutes of hot, but I got
two different times. I got to figure out how to cut that out because that's not how I meant to say it.
Oh man!
Wow, that was wild.
He said since Mandy Rose. I had to think about that.
I didn't think about that. I'm like, Mandy Rose is like the best thing on the women's part of the division of NXT. So like, she's like the two of the top 3 hot commodities on NXT besides Melo and her. Probably Braun Breaker would be third, but yeah, that's it.
Whatever. What about you, R?
I ain't got one. I can't think of a rookie. What are we classifying as a rookie?
Well, what Carmelo has is kind of different because he did debut in 2021. But he didn't really start putting his foot on people's necks until 2022.
Right.
Yeah. Because 2021, he made his debut, and everything for like the first couple of months. Then, he started getting hot real fast, and he just took over the whole year. So
nobody really stuck out to me like that. I guess it would have to be Hayes.
Yeah, so Carmelo, it's like, I really don't want to put him in the rookie category, but since this like his, I guess, real year, like real full year.
Right. Let me see.
So I really don't know who else I'll give it to.
I can't think of nobody else.
Yeah, can't think of them. Those solid balls right there. So yeah, I don't know. So yeah. Carmelo Hayes, unanimous decision, just like Bianca Belair with that one.
Okay.
Cool. All right, next up we got. Oh, this is a good one. I don't know if you could ask this question, Harv, because did you go into any live shows this year?
I haven't.
Okay. I was gonna say, okay, we can still. I'll just do it. Best entrance music of the year.
Best entrance music of the year. That's a tough one because
I got one that I like that I heard live and it resonated with me real well, and I got one that's just all around best one.
All right, you go first. You go first.
So the best entrance music I heard all year in person was by wrestler Brian Keith, and was still tipping by Mike Jones, Slim Thug, and Paul Wall. Bro, think about that as an entrance song coming out with somebody.
Wow.
I heard that in Dallas, Texas at GCW for the Culture Show, and that was the first time I seen them wrestle, the first time I heard that song. And I was like, this song kind of hard. And the bad thing about it, I was there for Mike, because that's who Mike wrestled against the day before at the Glory Pro show for his championship. Then I finally saw him the next day. I'm like, damn, this song is kind of nice for an entrance song.
Wow.
I know, wow, right?
That's incredible.
And so, yeah, that's probably the best one for me. And like best one, like overall, it gotta be. It's hard. I gotta think about it because I don't want to say Roman Reigns.
I mean, but
what I'll say about Roman Reigns theme song, you have to hear it in person before you judge it. Because when I first heard it on TV, I did not like it.
I said the same thing.
Then I heard it in person. I'm like, hey, this is kind of hard.
No, I don't have a best theme song of the year. I don't know. Even with like the returns, of wrestlers coming to the main roster and the new people they're bringing into NXT, nobody's theme song stuck out as memorable. But then again, we grew up in the Jim Johnson era, so there's not really going to be that many that's going to stick and stay with us.
Yeah.
So no, I don't have.
I think it's the same few as it's been the last few years. Like I said, the Roman Reigns, the Seth Rollins, it's the same few that's always hit. They still hit, but none of the newer debuts or returns, nobody like that really made a imprint with their theme music.
Look, Del Phantasmo was hard. It don't hit on the mainstream roster because people don't. Yeah, when I saw it in person, I'm like, it's not the same as when I was at NXT and heard it.
Yeah, no, because people in NXT they sing along by saying Delgado with it, but no, the main roster they
don't do that. Yeah, they don't do that. Unfortunately, sad, but yeah.
Nope.
Let's see. Okay, we got that. Got more years. Okay, worst ring gear of the year. worst ring gear of the year.
I think, in my opinion, Seth Rollins wins both best and worst ring gear.
Worst.
He wins both because if you notice, his in-ring gear is either extremely dope or extremely atrocious. There's really no in between. So for me, he has to win both.
That was one where it had to have been Becky Lynch's shit he was wearing. It was the long black, like sheer button thing, and it had the goddamn feathers on the back and all that. Yeah, that one always stuck out to me. What the hell is with the Fabo glasses? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was takes the cake. But then there's a couple times where he came out there and he was, he was representing properly. Yeah, Seth Rollins. He was creative this year, I'll say.
Yeah, definitely creative. I'll say that. Oh, let's see. Worst dress. I'll probably have to give it to our brother from our city.
Wait, you talking about
what's Scripps?
Scripps.
Oh God. Yeah.
Now look.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. That piece together is trash.
I love him. I know. I love St. Louis. I love my city. I love people from my city that represent. But that mask ain't hidden. I'm sorry, brother. I can't do it, bro. I'm sorry. It's not it.
Trying to fix it though, because I think
And before when he was Reggie, the short suit thing was like
that was also hard to look
yeah,
at.
it was I'm like, okay, when you wore the suits backstage and everything like that, cool. But wrestling in a short suit ensemble, no, I'm sorry. Then it just got worse to the mask. I'm like, my brother, man. People
really
talking
bad.
about how people St. Louis people dress now. I don't like that. We don't dress like that. Come on.
Really bad.
Oh man, he reminded me of somebody in middle school who aspires to be a wrestler, so they make their own costume in their mother's basement.
Yes, like
And that's
he has that starter pack outfit of when you create your wrestler on WWE 2K video games. We had to
Yeah,
pick
that
them
Spider
like,
Man. It's that Spider
yeah.
Man versus Macho Man Randy Savage fit. That's what
It is a hard thing, man. It is a hard thing. Okay, let's see what we got here. Let's see. We got imagine.
we didn't talk about match of the year.
Oh yeah, you're right. Match of the year.
Yeah. Oh, that's an easy one. And I'm surprised WWE released the top 5 match of the year, and this wasn't one of them at all. The match of the year has to go to Gunther versus Sheamus.
That's been said heavily.
Has to be said. But it wasn't on WWE's. In fact, on WWE's, there was like 4 matches that had Roman Reigns in it, and one of them was Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes. Yeah, that was their top 5. No, it has to be Sheamus and Gunther, no question.
My match of the year was Roman Reigns against Seth Rollins at Royal Rumble.
Royal Rumble, that was great. We was there live. I remember that. Great.
That was my match of the year. Mm-hmm. That was hard. You know, it didn't really have like a pinfall ending, but the whole thing from start to finish with the mind games and the actual match in between, that was the one for me.
Yeah. Yep, that's a great one. Harv, I see you thinking long and hard.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Was Punk and MJF last year, or was that earlier this year?
Was that this year? I think that was this year.
I thought it was earlier this year.
Yeah. Yep, that was in February.
Yep. I'm gonna go ahead and throw that one in there. I think it deserves a mention. It definitely helped catapult both of them at a time that they needed that level of notoriety under both of their names. MJF, it really made him who he is now. Him being able to tangle word for word and then going in the ring with Punk, that made him what he is now. So that's an important match this year.
Oh, cool. Let's see. I got one more. I can make this the final one. We can get it out the way real quick.
Yeah.
Who is a superstar you think that's going to make a name for yourself next year?
That is difficult. Well, I think Braun Breaker would. Again, I am not a fan of Braun Breaker, but I see him going to the main roster next year and dominating because, even if Triple H is, still the head honcho, or if the alleged rumors of Vince McMahon coming back, I think that Braun Breaker is still going to be a favorite no matter who's in charge. So I see him making a big statement next year.
Shit, I see Braun Breaker doing what Karrion Kross doing. Honestly, they in the same boat to me for real.
Yeah, I agree. I see him getting focused.
Yeah,
I agree.
Big Harv.
If Vince does not return and do what he does best, just the mention of Gunther's match, I do believe that Triple H is going to put him, if he doesn't win the world title, he's definitely going to be a regular contender sometime next year if Triple H is the one that handles him properly. So I'm going to say Gunther.
That's deep. That's deep right there. Yeah. You say Gunther. You say Braun Breaker. Dang, I ain't thought about this till it got to me. I don't want to say Cody Rhodes. I feel like it's kind of obvious.
But yeah, I mean that's who you feel gonna be. Gonna bring out.
It makes sense in reality. Like saying like it makes the most sense. Like with Cody Rhodes is gonna be that next guy for real. Like that's how I see. I really wanted to be Carmelo Hayes for next year, if anything, because I feel like he's the best person that like looks like us and that can ease in like work his personality to like him into his best work. Like I'm trying to figure out the best way I can say it right now. Yeah, you feel what I'm saying? Like this.
He's just nigga enough. Just nigga enough. Yeah. There you go. I'm with you. Yeah.
I feel like he has the best balance of it to make it work.
That's fair.
On the mainstream roster, because I'm gonna lie, like try and like lie about anybody. Like when other people try to do it, it's either feel like it's forced or it's not executed perfectly.
It's maybe corny, yeah.
Exactly, and like I feel like the way Melo has been doing it so far, especially with the NXT route, everything, I feel like it's been working in his favor. Implementing the whole Pooh Shiesty stuff going on, say Back in Blood thing, and like with that, he implemented that perfectly well. The whole thing with saying I am him and things like that, doing that well, and just his overall personality, it's just him. Like that's who he is. And I like when people can just take their own characteristics, their own personality, and make it to their actual gimmick and make it work for them, and not being forced to do it upon themselves and try to be somebody that they're not.
I agree.
Even his barbershop promos are like nice icing on top for
exactly.
Yeah, I can see it.
So like I said, with all the work he's doing, like I hope that translates over to the main roster, because he does have the it factor. And since I'm a great thing that Triple H is taking over, because the only thing I would say will hold him back is just because of his size.
Yeah.
Because that definitely would have held him back if he got brought up during the Vince McMahon era. Yeah. But now you see Triple H getting everybody opportunities and not limiting nobody just because of their stature, having people of small stature do suplexes on big people like Chad Gable on Braun Strowman, having Ricochet actually having competing matches against people that are bigger than him. And so you don't see people that just of a small stature just getting dominated every day now. You actually see wrestling. You actually see competing. And I feel like they finally bring that back. So all these people with small wrestlers who do have these characteristics and have that charisma, enthusiasm, they're going to strive and be successful. And I see that with Carmelo.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's all I got. Y'all got anything else?
No, man, you really felt that it would be Melo, man.
Yeah.
That's the most talked all year.
You said the most I talked all year.
Top Cinko segment of the year right there.
That's debatable. That's I had moments where I spoke lengthily of things. I gotta think about, I don't know, because I gotta review that for the year. But yeah. Oh yeah. We got one more question before we wrap this up real quick. We're gonna make this a quick episode because it's holiday season. We'll give them like a 30+ minute show for the holiday season. So last thing, what was personally y'all KTR moment of the year? What's your Know the Ropes podcast moment of the year?
KTR moment of the year. I would have to say seeing my brother Cinko in the ring as a manager. That was entertaining. That was extremely entertaining. And then his work with some wrestlers I pay very close attention to. I've been enjoying it quite well. So I think that was the KTR moment of the year.
I ain't gonna lie. That whole thing, being a manager, caught me off guard because I didn't expect it. I did not ask for it. It just happened. So just in case y'all want to know, it wasn't my idea to do this. It just happened, and I went along with it, and it's been a hell of a journey, but I appreciate it. Shout out to my brother Mike Outlaw for that. But yeah. Big Harv.
Yeah, man, that was great. It still is. Every time we get to see anything you out there doing, that's a good time. I don't really have one this year. I don't know.
You don't got one?
Nah, I don't really have one this year.
I got one.
It's been a good, consistent year. We've been having fun. You know.
Yeah. I got one. Yeah, I got one. And y'all probably forgot about it because, a year goes by fast and it was at the beginning of the year. My moment of the year was putting on our very first show.
Wait a minute. You're talking about Black Wrestlers Matter.
Yep, that was in February.
That was this
I was going to say that, but
that was this year.
That had to have been last year.
You sure it was last year or was it this year?
I thought it was last year. No, it could have been this
year. It was this year. Like I said, stuff at the beginning of the year, you're going to forget about it. Because I remember because we hit Royal Rumble happened like a couple weeks later, had to have the show.
I remember because my son was born, and I think that was one of the few times I actually got out the house. Dude, man, if I would have remembered, yeah.
I told you gonna forget about it. Yep. That was it. I'm looking at the flyer right now. February 19th, 2022.
Wow. Yeah, that was earlier this year. That's crazy.
I'm gonna say putting on the very first wrestling show because I give all y'all promoters y'all props because putting on the show is definitely not easy. If you got money, if you don't got money, regardless, it is not an easy thing. I mean, like I said, I'm just thankful for my team. I'm thankful for my brother Mike for putting the idea on us and like assisting along the way. But that was not an easy thing to do. Well, I'm glad it got it done. That's all. It was a great experience. Would I do it again? I probably would. Yeah, but like I said, putting on an actual wrestling show. A successful one at that was my moment of the year.
Absolutely. Trumps everything all the way up there. It's great. It's great.
And so with that is all the time we have for today. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for supporting all year. Thank you for 2022. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Thank y'all for everything. Thank you for the love, support. Like I said, thank you again, wrestling community, because without y'all, there would be no Know the Ropes podcast. And before we sign off, for the last episode of the year, y'all gotta do this one simple favor for us, and that is to follow us on all social media platforms, KTR_podcast, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Know the Ropes Podcast, Facebook, YouTube. Know the Ropes Podcast, all podcast platforms, Google Podcast, Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcast, Podbean, on everything. And don't forget to get your merch at ProWrestlingTees.com/KTR Podcast. This is right. Oh, let's get that right. This is the last episode of the year, episode 63. KTR, #KTR, Know the Ropes Podcast, and we are out.
One more time in 2022. Tell them, what should they do, Big Harv?
Pump those goddamn numbers. Now and forever. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Happy holidays, y'all.
That don't compute in my mind, I must be out of mind. Black fist high, rally up before we out of time.